Coronation Street spoilers. Sarah faces growing danger in prison, Tim makes a horrifying discovery, and Idris stoops to new lows. Next week on Coronation Street, emotions run high as Sarah Platt reaches a heartbreaking turning point while struggling to survive life behind bars. Outside prison, her young son Harry finds it increasingly difficult to cope with her absence, forcing Kit to step up in unexpected ways. Elsewhere, Tim Metcalf is left shaken after making a disturbing discovery connected to one of his relatives, while Idris becomes more ruthless than ever in his determination to get his own way. At the same time, Fiz's fears about Ross continue to grow as worrying events unfold. Here are 10 major Coronation Street spoilers for next week's episodes. No. 1. Sarah becomes the target of intimidation in prison. Sarah's time in prison takes another frightening turn when a hardened inmate fixes her with an intimidating stare, leaving her deeply unsettled. The tense atmosphere makes it clear that she is struggling to feel safe behind bars. When Bethany later arrives for a visit, she is immediately alarmed after spotting severe bruising across Sarah's face. Sarah insists that everything is under control and tries to reassure her daughter, but the injuries suggest she may be hiding the true extent of the violence she is facing. Is Sarah now in genuine danger inside the prison? No. 2. Harry struggles without his mum. Concerned about Harry's well-being, Kit and Bethany decide it would be best if Kit continues staying at Sarah's flat to provide some stability during this difficult time. Glenda offers to take Harry along to Little Big Shots, allowing Bethany to keep her plans for a date. However, tensions rise when Kit explains that Harry has been booked into activities for the entire following week because Kit won't be able to care for him himself. Feeling abandoned and overwhelmed, Harry reacts angrily by throwing his dinner across the room. With Bethany still out on her date with Roman, Kit is left to deal with the emotional outburst alone. Can he find the right words to comfort Harry before things get worse? Sarah finds an unexpected ally. Feeling isolated and frightened, Sarah opens up to fellow inmate Kacey about how much she misses Harry and how thankful she is that her former partner is looking after her son. During their conversation, Kacey casually reveals that everyone inside already knows Sarah's ex is a police officer, leaving Sarah stunned that her personal life has become common knowledge among inmates. Later, Sarah hides away in her cell after another prisoner threatens her. Kacey finds her and promises that she won't allow anyone to hurt her, offering Sarah some much-needed reassurance. When Bethany visits again, she notices Kacey watching them closely. Sarah explains that Kacey has become her closest friend in prison and the one person she can truly rely on during this terrifying experience. No. 4. Lisa delivers devastating news about Richie. Tim and Sally spend a sleepless night trying to process recent events, with both of them sitting in stunned silence the following morning. Their shock deepens when Lisa arrives with major news from the police investigation. She reveals that Richie has officially been charged with murdering his wife and is claiming he acted only in self-defense. Lisa also explains that Richie's daughter, Lucy, has now been taken into care following the tragic developments, leaving Tim and Sally horrified. No. 5. Dylan loses control during an awkward confrontation. Still carrying enormous guilt over his involvement in the events that led to Betsy's devastating strokes, Dylan asks Alia if he can spend his shift working in Speed Doll's kitchen instead of serving customers. Alia refuses, explaining that she needs him working out front with the rest of the staff. Meanwhile, Ronnie joins Ed, Michael, and James for lunch and opens up about the emotional strain of caring for Debbie. Distracted and exhausted, Ronnie responds impatiently when Dylan comes to take their order. Already emotionally fragile, Dylan immediately assumes Ronnie is angry with him, causing an uncomfortable scene that forces Alia to step in before matters escalate. As Idris gently leads the upset teenager away, Dylan is left facing the difficult reality that he may not be coping with the trauma of recent events as well as he thought. No. 6. Sally gets an unexpected surprise when she comes home. Richie reads a message from his wife Rachel before joking to Tim that he's in serious trouble for staying away from home all night. When Sally arrives back at the house, Tim quickly claims he spent the evening enjoying a quiet board game night with his friends. His story soon falls apart when Richie turns up carrying a large hold-all and announces that Rachel has thrown him out of the house. Embarrassed, Tim introduces Richie as his cousin and admits that after a heavy night of drinking, Richie ended up staying over. Although she's clearly uncomfortable with the situation, Sally reluctantly agrees to let Richie remain at the house for a little while longer. No 7. Jodie turns her attention towards Kit. David pays Sarah a visit in prison, where she reveals that ending her relationship with Kit was a decision she made to protect him from becoming caught up in her troubles. Elsewhere, a heartbroken Kit drowns his sorrows with vodka, catching the attention of manipulative Jodie after she overhears him talking about Sarah ending their romance. Initially, Kit makes it clear he isn't interested in speaking to her and walks away without much conversation. Not willing to give up, Jodie catches up with him later in the street and sympathizes with his heartbreak, suggesting there's nothing worse than being dumped. She then offers to cheer him up by buying him a pizza. Will Kit unknowingly allow Jodie to draw him into her latest scheme? No 8. Ollie's latest ideas fall flat. Eager to make a positive impression, Ollie presents Alia with several fresh ideas for updating the speed dial menu. Unfortunately, Alia's lack of enthusiasm quickly becomes obvious, leaving Ollie disappointed and questioning whether his suggestions have any future. Sensing an opportunity, Idris once again reminds Alia that his offer to buy her share of the restaurant still stands, increasing the pressure on her to make a difficult decision. No 9. Idris attempts to repair his relationship with Abi. After narrowly avoiding a court case by compensating Abi over the mold-infested property that left young Alfie seriously ill and in hospital, Idris tries to show a kinder side. When Abi visits Speed Dial to collect some food, Idris insists on paying for her takeaway as a gesture of goodwill. Abi is left wondering whether his offer is genuine or simply another attempt to improve his reputation. Will she accept his olive branch or remain firmly on her guard? If you'd like, I can also rewrite the remaining spoilers, 10 to 18, in the same expanded style. No 10. Tim uncovers a shocking scene. Sally makes it clear to Tim that she has had enough and wants Richie out of their house as soon as possible. Richie tells Tim that he has arranged to stay with a friend in Liverpool, hoping to reassure him that he won't be causing any more trouble. While driving his cab, Tim encourages Richie not to give up on his marriage. He urges him to return home, face Rachel, and try to repair the damage before it's too late. Coronation Street continues on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes also available to stream on ITVX.